Hi there everybody, welcome to another video. On today's video I have this Mini Cooper 2009 model, the 1.6 petrol, and this is an automatic version, although I don't think that matters. But I'm gonna be changing the spark plugs and the coil packs in this car. Now the car does have a misfire at the moment, and I've already discovered what the misfire is, and it's one of these coil packs. So I just happen to have a spare one from a BMW 3 Series, and what I've done is I swap this for the one that was misfiring, because the computer in the car, not the computer in the car, but I plugged in an OBD computer and it was saying that cylinder number 4 was misfiring. So because I had a spare one of these, I quickly changed it, and then the misfire was gone. Having said that, we've decided to change the spark plugs and the coil packs because the car is already covered what 65,000 miles or so. So just to avoid any future issues, I mean, if one of these has failed already, the other ones could fail. But saying that, if you're on a budget and you have a spare one of these, or you could just purchase one and replace it, and if it fixes your misfire, then you are good to go. The other thing is, if this didn't sort your misfire, you may have one of the plugs misfiring. So if it was again showing number 4, say, and you took the spark plug out and fitted another spark plug, again, if you bought a spare one or you decided to change your plugs and it solves your issue, then you will know then it was your spark plugs that were at fault. And the other thing that can cause a misfire will be your fuel injectors. So if none of these, if you changed all of these and you still have a misfire, then you may have a blocked fuel injector, and that is then another cup of tea. And if you did change all your injectors and you still have a misfire, then we're looking into deeper problems. Something like the chain could have stretched or anything like that. So we're going to concentrate today on the basics, change the spark plugs and the coil packs. And to do that in this car, what we want to do is take this little cover out, and you need to remove these 2 Torx screws here. These are T30 Torx. Just gonna put them there for now. T30 Torx, and I'm just gonna show you what that looks like. So that one's here. That's a Torx socket. I use a T30. And then you need to remove this cover. Now my cover is already loose because I already removed it, but there are 4 clips here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These little clips are going to be clipped under these plastic retaining bits here on the rock cover. You press them in. So you press, say, this one in and pull this up a little bit, and then you press that and pull up, and slowly, that way it will pop out. And here's our coil packs, and the spark plugs are in there. So usually to remove these, I open that like so, remove the connection, and with a screwdriver lean it against the rock cover there and pull that out gently. And that one I already done. But the reason I say it's gently, because sometimes if they are really tight in there, this little plastic can break or come out. So to avoid that, I normally hold it with my hands and then with a screwdriver pull it out. So that way you can remove your coil packs. If you were, say, changing only, if you were changing only these coil packs and not the spark plugs, then your new coil packs can go in any spark plug. But normally if I was changing the spark plugs, I would normally keep these in the order that they come out. So cylinder number 1, 2, 3 and 4, keep them in that order. So anyway, now we're going to remove one of the plugs. So I'm using this socket here, which is for spark plugs. It's a 14 millimeter. It has a little rubber in there that grabs the plug. And then we can loosen the plugs. You can see there's a little bit of oil here as well. One of my plugs has a bit of oil, and this one as well. So these two here, I can see from the socket, you can see my socket has got some oil in it. That means there might be a bit of oil leaking from this rocker cover. They have gaskets, rubber gaskets in between the the plugs, so they seem to be leaking a bit, which means we may have to look into changing the rocker cover gasket on this car at some point. But anyway, that's a telltale sign. You can see the oil there, and that can also cause a misfire. However, in this case scenario, it's not doing that because we have our misfires on cylinder number 4 and there's no oil on cylinder number 4. Anyway, I'm going to remove all the plugs now, and these plugs are we can't really see it, but I'm waiting for the new ones. It's a Beru BERU 12ZR6S P2. That's what it says. Okay, got my new plugs, NGKR PLZKBR 7B 8G. So that one there. And I compare them to the old ones and they look pretty much the same. So we can start fitting these. Also, I have my coil packs. These ones here, this make, I'm not sure, I'm not very familiar with this make here, WPS. But you could get the Bosch ones really for this car. Get the Bosch coil packs. So I'm gonna start fitting all of them, and I'm gonna show you how to do the last one. So do make sure that when you put your plugs, you get them in by hand first, as much as you can. Get them in finger tight. That way you know it's going in the correct way and you're not damaging the thread, you're not cross-threading anything, which is the most important thing when you fit plugs back. So that's in. I got this one in, and I'm going to do exactly the same for the next two here. And once you have them in, I also have a torque wrench here. My torque wrench is set to 24 Newton meters. So it's a good idea to have a torque wrench as well, so you don't damage your plugs, you don't over tighten them, or because if you over tighten them, you can actually break them as well. Okay, I've got all my plugs and coil packs back in here. I'm just going to show you this one. So I got it in by hand, and now using your torque wrench, you can torque that to, well, clearly I didn't get it all the way in by hand, but make sure you do. Okay, so let's get in there all the way in by hand as much as we can. Okay, now we can use our torque wrench. And that is done. Get your coil pack, put it there. Get your electrical connection back in there. Make sure it's all the way in. And lock that. And then you can push your coil pack down. And that is done. Now we can fit this cover as well. And we have our screws. And these screws are just going into plastic, so you don't need to tighten them too much, otherwise you're gonna damage the plastic. You can do them by hand, or obviously just you could give them a little extra turn there so they don't come loose. But that's it. Right, pretty much done here. Gonna get the car started now. Just gonna put these tools away. Let's get the car going, make sure it's running okay. Okay, there was a slight hesitation there because some of the oil that was around one of the plugs went into the cylinders. So that's why it started like that, but now it's running okay. Okay, settling down now, and this is the original fault I had, combustion misfire cylinder number 4, which I can now obviously just clear. And no fault codes, so that is done. Engine's running nice and smooth. So that's pretty much it. It's not a difficult job, just be careful, take your time. The main thing is not to damage the plugs, the thread of the plugs, or the thread on the cylinder head. So that's why I always get them in by hand first, and if you do that, then the job is pretty much an easy job. So having said that, I hope the video helps. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. We'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.